this was also the week where Florida told us that learning math is also critical race theory. That's right. The Florida Department of Education rejected dozens of math books because they might hurt white kids' feelings in some way as a part of their quote unquote Stop Woke Act. They don't want you to say the stop gay, don't say gay bill, but they love the Stop Woke Act.
What the hell?
I love that dichotomy. Because numbers, ladies and gentlemen, are woke.
Yeah.
Numbers like 1619, 1865, 13th and 14th amendments, that is. All the woke numbers.
69, that's woke. That's mutual pleasure. And that is
way too woke.
That's equality is against the right-wing ideology. It's one person gets their genitals touched at a time.
One at a time.
Exactly.
But there is more to the story, of course, than just kids in math problems being named Jamal.
Right. Yeah. Like, what is it? I need to know.
I don't. It's a little bit of that, but a lot more of that. In fact, there might be a like monetary motive and incentive behind Ron DeSantis and other governors' push around getting rid of certain textbooks. But let's look at what kinds of books they rejected. So this is from the New York Times. Looked at 21 different textbooks to see like why they got rejected. Florida has released so few details about its textbook review process, it's unknown whether these examples led to rejections. They only put out a few examples of it. One of them had to do with Maya Angelou and her I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and they didn't like that she was talking about
math,
math and her life, which was fucked up and hard and involved child abuse, etc. So they had a problem with that. But it's something more interesting. So the Department of Education said that some of the books contain prohibited topics from social emotional learning or critical race theory, but it only released 4 specific textbook pages showing content to which it objects. And again, one of those things was like Maya Angelou.
I gotta know.
In most of the books,
2 trans people are taking a train to Chicago at 65 miles per hour, but then also 2 indigenous handicapped people are taking a train.
Do they have enough time to get a sex change operation in Chicago?
Yeah, exactly.
Before they make it to the drag show?
What time will they make it to Planned Parenthood to abort their fetus?
Can they get chest surgery in time to be able to just like,
what
no.
the fuck, dude?
In most books, there's little that touched on race, never mind an academic framework like critical race theory, but many of the textbooks included social emotional learning content, a practice with roots in psychological research that tries to help students develop mindsets that can support academic success. So, all right, that might seem like an interesting thing to some of us, but activists like Chris Rufo, senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute, have sought to tie social emotional learning to the broader debate over the teaching of race, gender, and sexuality in classrooms. In a March interview conducted over email, Mr. Rufo stated that while social emotional learning sounds, quote, positive and uncontroversial in theory, quote, in practice, SEL,
oh no, new acronym.
SEL serves as a delivery mechanism for radical pedagogies such as critical race theory and gender deconstructionism.
Jesus Christ, these guys are such cowards.
The intention of SEL, he continued, is to soften children at an emotional level, reinterpret their normative behavior as an expression of repression, whiteness, or internalized racism, and then rewire their behavior according to the dictates of left-wing ideology.
Sir, this is a trigonometry class. Like, what the fuck?
I just gotta say, white people, not everything is about you.
I mean, really though.
Not
really
everything.
Though. Holy shit.
But it's interesting that it's social emotional learning. Essentially, the more you learn about human emotions, the more you learn about empathy,
right?
Effectively empathy,
right? Yeah.
The more you use that in any kind of problem solving, including math.
Yeah.
The softer read gayer.
Yeah, right. Like what
are they like?
You're trying to emasculate my son by having him count how many apples equals a bushel. It's like I need an example. I'm sorry, but I still need an example.
We're gonna go into a couple of examples. what social emotional learning did was like create a learning together, they call it, like learning together, having a growth mindset, which I don't even know what that means. There are references with there are books filled with references to character traits like perseverance and cooperation, which obviously
evil anti-white.
Exactly.
Everyone knows cooperation
CRT
is code for white slavery.
Here's one of the things, not SEL, not social emotional learning, but here's one of the things they did reject. This is a McGraw-Hill pre-algebra textbook shown below, included a mini biography of mathematicians throughout history, almost all of whom were women or people of color.
Yes, this is what it is.
So here is a short biography of Dorothy Johnson Vaughan, African-American mathematician who led a computing unit for the agency now known as NASA.
Yeah.
We saw Hidden Figures.
Yeah. So that's their problem. The problem is that the existence, the acknowledged existence of people of color in STEM in these books is somehow going to make a white child learning SOHCAHTOA to feel like alienated and oppressed. Like, it's just insane to me.
That's just reminding me
of the lady who did the SOHCAHTOA
video, and I can't believe we haven't queued that up. Maybe I'll just put that in post.
You know what's so funny is I realize that all of this stuff, this entire like right-wing reaction to critical race theory, comes from them seeing a few people on Twitter get mad when white math teachers go SOHCAHTOA with a like native or indigenous, chant, and they're trying to destroy us. And so it's a reaction of people on Twitter. It's not even a reaction.
She's going to be speaking at the next CPAC for sure.
Yes, she will.
She's going to have her own textbook company. They're going to lead with how do we make every single math problem in we can do all this, but everyone needs to do a stereotypical accent,
right? Exactly,
to do it.
Yeah, every
algebra will be taught in a pidgin Chinese accent the whole time.
You're gonna learn about the metric system. You're gonna learn about the metric system from a guy doing a drunken Irish accent. There's 14 liters of whiskey inside here. How many liters?
Because Irish are white now.
I know. Well, it's the only accent I felt comfortable doing on your live stream.
But before we leave this, there is one portion that is actually the most interesting of all this, because there's only one publisher left in all of Florida. And that is Accelerate Learning, a company out of Houston, Texas. Because every other book has been rejected, essentially. So you've got Accelerate Learning. Okay, let's learn about Accelerate Learning. Accelerate Learning was acquired by the Carlyle Group, a global investment firm.
God.
During the time it acquired it, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin was the CEO of the firm. After 25 years with the company, Youngkin resigned to run for office. The first thing Youngkin did as governor in Virginia was sign an executive order to end the use of inherently divisive concepts, including critical race theory, and restoring excellence, this is all in quotes, in the K-12 public education commonwealth, a measure that's comparable to DeSantis's Stop Woke Act. In other words, this is all a get rich for the Carlyle Group scheme.
Wait, the scheme is to cancel all these textbooks based on baseless grounds of you're trying to indoctrinate kids so that they can sell their math textbooks. That is the most harebrained ass scheme I think I have ever heard.
This has not been confirmed, is what a lot of folks are speculating.
That is an amazing
because of the links between Youngkin, DeSantis, and the fact that there is only this one book. I mean, and the same thing with you're whenever conservatives care about education, you're like, why? I thought you fucking hate it. You send your kids to private schools.
Right.
You don't care. Stop it. But really, they just see anything that's a public good as another way to get rich. And education, obviously, with, charter schools, the DeVos family.
Yeah. How do I monetize
all
this?
of that? Exactly.
Wow.
They want to get rich. So we will see if this is part of it. I really think it's an interesting development. In the meantime, I feel sad for the kids of Florida who are going to have SOHCAHTOA lady screaming at them.
I mean, honestly, I feel like it's at the very least, SOHCAHTOA lady. I remember SOHCAHTOA now, and I'm pretty sure that's how I learned SOHCAHTOA, was someone doing a native.
What's
chant.
so?
I don't know what's
Sign, right?
Soka.
I didn't take trig. Is this trig?
I don't even know, dude. Here's the thing. I don't
Our
have
kid's
to know
gonna
math.
be smart.
Our kid's going to be smart because we're going to say be in STEM or else you will be doomed to spend your life streaming and watching The Sopranos.
You're gonna have to be on Twitch like
Kill
mommy and
me.
daddy. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuation room. Do it.